Hey, everybody, it's Greg, and it's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If anyone's new out there, it's a podcast. We talk about all kinds of cool stuff. Philly sports. We talk about, we don't get into politics or anything too heavy like that. There's enough of that in the world. So we talk about lighter news, odd things in the news, just things that we want to comment about. You know, we just keep it light and we try to spread a little hope and joy and smiles throughout your day. Take 15 minutes every day with me, and hopefully it's a good day for you and it's a good day for me. In fact, today is Thursday, October 19th. I don't know about you, but I think this week has flown by, hasn't it? All right, we're going to talk about the Phillies in a minute. I'm all geared up. I have my Philly stuff on, ready for tonight. Big game 3 out in Arizona. Got to tell you though, we have 2 dogs, Katie and Bud, and you've seen pictures of them. They've been in here behind my back mocking me. No, they're the sweetest. I love them to death. They are so cute. And we took our little Katie yesterday to get her 3-year rabies shot. No big deal, right? The rabies shot. Well, she had a bad reaction to the shot. Very rare, according to the vet. Very rare do dogs have a bad reaction to the shot. Well, her reaction was, she was nauseous and apparently itchy, because she was just throwing herself around. I don't know. Anyway, we took her back to the vet twice. And finally, they calmed her down, Benadryl, gave her some medicine for her sickness, and hopefully she'll be okay. She's getting back to herself today, but it's scary though, and it reactions are bad. Did you ever have a reaction before to food, allergies to food, or, I know some people are allergic to bee stings. That's bad. And they have to carry around something to, in case they are stung by a bee, to inject themselves so they don't die, And I had a reaction one time. I never knew uh, I had kidney stones until, it's not funny, the late 80s. And all of a sudden I had an attack. It was a Memorial Day, and had this kidney stone attack. And I found out I was the proud owner of like 5 kidney stones, and one wanted to come out on Memorial Day. So anyway, to make a long podcast short, that's what I found out. And the first time they did what they called a special X-ray for the kidney stones, they inject you with iodine, so that the stones will show up on the X-ray better. Well, guess what? Turned out I didn't know that I was allergic to iodine either, and my whole side of the right side of my face turned numb. Talk about scary. I didn't know what was happening. They kept me on the table for like a good 45 minutes until the feeling started to come back. And since then, I have it tagged everywhere on my medical records, allergic to iodine. So reactions are bad, you have to really be careful. So I just wanted to mention that because you just never know. We love our furry creatures just like you love yours, and but just give them an extra special hug tonight for me, and because you just never know. We never know. So I hope to have Katie for another guest sometime soon, because it seems like whenever she is on the program, more people watch. Duh, I wonder why. I'd rather watch her than me. Anyway, so let's talk Phillies a little bit, okay? Phillies game 3, 5 o'clock today, out in Arizona. Now, this would be a game you would think Arizona has to win. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at the Phillies because they have to win this game. If they don't win this game, they're down 3-0, and you might as well kiss the series goodbye. It's going to be a tough road for Arizona anyway, because even if they take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies in Arizona, they have to come back here to Philadelphia and win. Even if they take all 3 in the next 3 days, they have to come back to Philadelphia and win a game. That's not going to be easy. But, if they lose tonight, the Phillies are in really good shape to get to the World Series. I don't know, I mean, they have their crowd up there, but it's nowhere near like our crowd here in Philadelphia, nowhere near that way. And I think if the Phillies get ahead of these guys early again, like they've been doing, the Phillies are going to take whatever crowd is out of the game, and the Snakes will be thinking, we're going to lose again, right? Don't give them any hope. All through these playoffs, the Miami series, Atlanta, now Arizona, the Phillies have only been behind 2 innings. 2 innings. The Phillies have played front runners, and they've put the pressure on the other team. They've been aggressive. And that's the one thing Arizona has not been. Arizona, they love to run when they get on base. They're just not running. They're playing scared. They're very passive. And I hope they stay that way. I really do. But let's see what happens. I mean, Ranger Suarez is pitching for us today, and he has been a monster in the postseason. I mean, I love Ranger Suarez. I think, he's a fine pitcher, great fielder. He's a bulldog, a little crafty left-hander bulldog. And he could give us 5-6 innings tonight. They're great, And he'll do anything. I mean, he closed out the NLCS last year, saved the last game. The Bedlam at the bank after Bryce Harper hit that home run. A lot of people forget Ranger Suarez had to close out that game in the 9th inning, and he did. How can I go against the Phillies, right? You can't. I mean, is it asking too much for them to sweep this series? Yeah, probably, because even though Arizona looks really bad in this series, and I just think the spotlight is too big for them right now. They're a young team, and I don't think they're ready for all this chaos, But Arizona should at least win a game, if not 2, in Arizona. But would it surprise me if the Phillies swept them? No, it wouldn't surprise me, because the Phillies are on a major roll right now. Everything is clicking. Pitching, defense. What could we say that about the Phillies? Defense, power, and I just don't see Arizona putting up a fight. Now, that could all change if Arizona gets off to an early lead. If they do, it'll give them some hope. They'll get the crowd into it. So, to me, getting off to a good start for the Phillies tonight and tomorrow are going to be important. And so we'll see what happens. But either way, I think the Phillies come back this weekend as 2-time National League champs. They're going to win the series out in Arizona. They're going to get ready for the World Series. Speaking of which, I don't know if you watched that Astros and Rangers game last night. Astros won 9-5, and they play better on the road. Everybody's out. The Astros lost 2 at home. They're going to lose this series. Rangers are playing great ball, but the Astros play better on the road. So I don't know. They're playing again tonight after the Phillies game. Here's the thing. If Houston wins tonight, look out. I say that because Houston already ran down Texas in the regular season. Texas was winning American League West for most of the season. Houston caught them at the end of the year. And if Houston wins again tonight and ties the series at 2-2, are the Rangers going to start hearing footsteps behind them again? The one thing Houston is, they're an experienced team. And it'd be very interesting. I think the Rangers really have to win tonight. They really have to win tonight to get the momentum back on their side, go up 3-1, and say to Houston, you're not winning this series. You're just not winning this series. It's time for a change in the American League. And there's a new team in town. But, as much as I think Jose Altuve is a great player, I admit that. I can't stand him. I just can't stand him. Whenever I see him play or see him being interviewed on TV, my brain is about to explode. I think cheater, 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 cheater. And what was it, 6 years ago? I should let it go. We should all let things go like that. But it's just every time I see him and he's smirking, into the camera, I feel this guy got away with something, He wasn't ever really, really penalized for his part, the cheating scandal. And neither was the Houston Astro team or organization. I just can't stand that organization. They cheated. They won a world championship. They got away with it, and they know it. This is how bad it is. If there was a way for the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Astros to play each other, either in baseball or football, and we know that's impossible, I'd have to root for the stinking, sniveling Cowboys because I just can't stand the Astros. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. So I'm hoping the Rangers will win the series, go on and play the Phillies, hopefully, in the World Series. But there's work to be done yet. So we'll see what happens. My pick, I'm not going to be wishy-washy about it like some of these sports guys are. They'll say, we'll see. No, you either have a pick, you go out there on the limb, and you have a pick, or you don't. And I would have to say, even though the Diamondbacks should win tonight, I'm going to say the Phillies win and go up 3-0. There you go. And I'm going to say that Texas needs to win tonight. I'm saying Texas is going to win too. They're going to go up 3-1. I just have that feeling. I may be totally wrong, but let's see what happens. And we'll talk more baseball tomorrow. The one last thing I want to say today before I was going to say hang up, but we're not on the phone. What the hell? Is, I've really been into, I love music, and my favorite band is the Beatles. And lots of Beatles stuff coming out now. Now that Christmas is on the horizon. New Beatle books, new Beatles song coming out soon. Paul McCartney is back on tour again. And I just love the Beatles. And they just, every generation, every year there's something new with the Beatles. And they're just, they're going to last forever. Their music is going to last forever. But lately, since he died, about a month ago, 6 weeks ago. I've been really into Jimmy Buffett, and I've discovered Jimmy Buffett's music. And I knew about Jimmy Buffett before. I was never a fan. I was never a Parrot Head. I was. I never attended any of his shows. I know he would come to town, usually to Camden waterfront, whatever they call that there, aquarium, not aquarium, uh, the outdoor theater over there. He would come once a year, and tickets would be sold out. And, I never had a hankering to go because I just thought of him as Margaritaville and Come Monday. I thought that's the only two songs this guy ever sings, right? And I thought of him as this, you know, reefer smoking, uh, beer guzzling beach guy, sitting off in the sunset there in the Keys, Florida Keys. Um, but you know what? Since Jimmy Buffett died, I was wrong. I was wrong about Jimmy Buffett. He was a tremendous songwriter. What a great entertainer. What a thoughtful guy. What an intelligent, brilliant guy. Not only in his music, but in his business. Uh, just one of my favorite songs or albums of Jimmy Buffett since I know I've been listening to them all. I must have listened. He has 50 albums out, other than the live albums and the best of albums. I think I've listened to just about all of the original albums. Um, One of my favorites is, his greatest hits was released, and it was called "Songs You Know by Heart." And most of them you do: Margaritaville, and Cheeseburger in Paradise, Fids. Uh, but there's a little album he made during the pandemic in 2020. That was called "Songs You Don't Know by Heart." And this is an album, an acoustic album, which is my favorite. I love acoustic music. I think it's brilliant when people can just pick up a guitar or sit down at a piano and just play, you know. Uh, and This has become one of my favorite albums because he recorded it during the pandemic. They weren't able to tour, of course. People were locked down. And he decided to do an album of his lesser known songs, deep cut album, deep cuts as they call them. And it shows a different side of him. It's not the partying beach guy Jimmy Buffett that he really made a career out of. Um, it's the singer songwriter Jimmy Buffett. A little bit country, a little bit folk, a little bit rock, a little bit pop. And the songs are just so great, and I so I was thinking, I wish I would have found this guy while he was still alive, you know, not only to go to some of his shows, but just to appreciate him, appreciate his music, you know, which will be around forever, but while he was still with us. And I guess that got me to thinking about everything in life, that sometimes we ought to just look around us and see what's around us, right? And appreciate it and say, you know what? This isn't going to be here forever, but I'm going to appreciate it, blah, 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 blah. I found this thing on the internet the other day, and it kind of puts things into perspective. It was like uh, if it's something that doesn't matter in 5 years from now, why give it 5 minutes to worry about, right? Uh, it just puts things into perspective, one's life and I'm sorry, I don't need to be preachy or not fun, but it's just, I just feel, sometimes we just need to remind ourselves that to look around, like Katie, who had a bad time yesterday with the reaction to the rabies shot, that even though we give our loved ones hugs all the time and love, and it's not going to last forever. So we really, really have to appreciate what we have. So, anyway, you guys have a great day, and go Phillies tonight, 5 o'clock. And then the second game, Astros Rangers, will be on after that at 8 o'clock, approximately. So let's hope the Phils win tonight, go up 3-0 in the series, and move one step closer to the World Series. And again, appreciate, right? How Phillies fans, my loyal fellow Phillies fans, how long has it been, right? Before last year, it was a long time. The Phillies were in the playoffs. It's been 15 years since the Phillies been in have won a World Series. I mean, we could be the Mets, for Christ's sake. Sorry. We could be the Mets. And the Mets, the last time they won a championship was what, 1986? Oh my God. Think about that. The Mets have not won a championship this century. It's been, I've always been bad at math. I hate that. Is it really 37 years ago since the Mets won a championship? Good for them. Anyway, the Mets suck. I hate the Mets. My point is, hopefully these good times for the Phillies will be around a long time. We'll have a run of, one thing the Phillies haven't done is won the NL East. There's always something, right? So even though we may win the World Series this year, we come back next year and win the East. We haven't done that for how long? I think the Braves have won like 7 straight divisions. That's something to gun for. But anyway, I remember, as you guys do, when the Phillies sucked and they weren't good. Back in the '60s, in the '90s, uh, uh, after 2011, these periods, these gaps where the Phillies are really stink. So to have a good feeling, really great Phillies team now on the verge of winning a world championship is great. So we need to savor it and have fun with it and celebrate it. And that's why I'm on here almost every day with my Phillies gear on, rooting for those Fightins. So go Phillies tonight. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for listening and watching. Please tune in tomorrow. I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.